Several of the portables here on campus are 40 plus years old.
Chris Gunnett attended Ramona Elementary School as a kid. Now he's the principal. He remembers when one portable, now used as storage, was still a classroom.
We do have a gap here. As you'll see, the light is actually coming through the roof, but this is where the two portables are seamed together.
He says they have to move supplies away from the gap when it rains. Water has already seeped into the school's oldest building. Gunnett thinks it was built in the early 1900s.
You've got a lot of water damage, especially down below here. And the substructure here, you can see that it's soft, just some water damage over time.
In November, Ramona voters rejected a $26.7 million school bond measure. District leaders proposed using the funding to replace portable classrooms, improve career technical education facilities, and upgrade plumbing and fire alarm systems. School bond measures have been on the ballot in Ramona 7 times since 1986. They've never passed.
Usually the life of a portable is around 20 years. We've got portables that are past the 50-year mark.
The district is facing a $9 million structural deficit. Superintendent Brian Thurman says they spent $2 million this year and last year on roofs.
That was general fund dollars that could have been spent on all kinds of things, instruction, students, playground equipment, lots of things.
Local bonds are also key to accessing school construction funding from the state. This year, California voters approved Prop 2, replenishing the pot of money for school repairs. Thurman says the district was eligible for $31 million in matching grants from the state. He says it was an opportunity to bring state tax money back to Ramona's kids.
This pot is created with all Californians from the Oregon border down through San Ysidro, all of our tax dollars. And so the real message that I wanted to get across is that Ramona has never taken advantage of that.
The more school districts can raise through local bonds, the more state matching funds they can get. Some advocates argue that this system is unfair to districts with lower property values or where voters don't pass local bonds. John Affelt is a managing attorney with the San Francisco-based law firm Public Advocates. They've called the school facility funding system unconstitutional.
And the state's role should not be to replicate the wealth disparities with how they hand out the state dollars. The state's role should be to counter or redress local wealth disparities with state dollars.
Bonds get paid back by increasing local property taxes. Ramona's would have gone up by $59 per $100,000 of assessed property value.
As we saw at the national, state, and local levels, cost of living and inflation were still at the top of mind for voters.
Thad Kauser is a political science professor at UC San Diego. He says 3 things drive voter behavior on bonds.
One, how people are feeling about their pocketbook and whether they want to open it up to government overall. And that means that your bond can live or die, has nothing to do with your school district. The second thing is what people are thinking about that government function, right? Do they like the direction of education in California? And the third is what they're hearing from the groups that take positions for and against these bonds.
The Republican Party of San Diego County's voter guide said it opposed all ballot measures that increased taxes. 40% of voters in San Diego County's unincorporated areas are registered as Republicans. 30% are Democrats.
Voters rarely care about the size of either a bond or a tax increase, right? Either they believe in the cause and are willing to invest in it or not.
Back at Ramona Elementary School, Principal Chris Gunnett says the maintenance department works hard to keep its buildings functional. But newer buildings would have fewer emergency repairs and better prepare students for the future.
We have a lot of pride here, that is for sure. People choose to come here. I chose to come here as well and be a leader at this school. But it is that sense of pride when you do have a new school. Kids feel a little more connected.
Thurman says the district will continue to use the money it has to pay for increasingly costly repairs as they come up. Katie Anastas, KPBS News.